spear raised. Settle in. What was he going to do? There just had to be a way to turn things around, get back on that path toward the better days he'd just assumed would come. That was probably pretty stupid. He could admit that. Not that he didn't know about plenty of unhappy mated couples. He did, but he hadn't ever thought it would happen to him. Of course, the same could be said about anyone, probably. Damn. Their ceremony was nice. Ceremonies, he reminded himself. They'd had 3. Not their choice. The first was their choice, short, sweet. Parents and an official and all done, but her parents hadn't really been satisfied. Begged them to please have just a little ceremony for more family and friends, nearer to their home. And they'd agreed, and the ceremony, of course, just blew up, out of control. 100 guests or more, all that entertainment to work out, decorations. Some gangsters her father paid protection money to had insisted that they use a big hall they controlled. She was all dolled up, beautiful and uncomfortable. He enjoyed the novelty, thought his parents would too. But they didn't. They felt jealous, so there'd been that 3rd ceremony, closer to his parents' people. A little smaller, a little squarer, but very nice. And exhausting. Her parents came, and that was a big thing because her father never, ever went so far away from his little plot of steaming stone, but he did for this. It was good. It was really good. It could have been a lot worse. The water lapped gently in the hole in front of him. 2, 3 bubbles. His eyes narrowed slightly. The sky above him blazed in sheets of green. If it was casting his shadow onto those bubbles, this wouldn't work. A waste of time. He didn't move. The bubbles went away. Nothing happened. He didn't move. All those ceremonies ending might have been depressing to somebody, he figured, but it wasn't like that at all for him and her. They finally had a chance to be happy. It was wonderful. It took 3 years to sort out the move to their own little plot. A real commuter marriage. Sounds awful. It rocked. Together, maybe 1 week in 3 gave them time to get used to being with each other, let them still be themselves for a while, before they became a unit. Plenty of romance, good food, new friends for both of them, not his, not hers, but theirs. They took in new suns together, watched them drop away together, followed the forming and cracking of ice. They went very traditional 1 week in 3. He hunted, she cooked. Apart, she hunted for herself, he cooked for himself. Their love grew even as they learned never to try hunting together or cooking together. They'd always have some things to do alone. But they did plenty together. Enough to bring a child into the world. Timed it just right, they thought. A month or 2 after getting their own place, really coming together. And those were good days. Just before the child came in, there was so much love, so much contact. She spoke so tenderly. He felt like the luckiest being on the planet. The seal that poked its head through the hole was tiny, a pup. Useless. He hoped it would be too innocent to squeak and squeal away his presence, warn its mother. He wanted her to pop up too so he could kill her and take the pup's innocence. When their child was born, everything seemed wonderful for maybe 2 weeks, but the child was not well. Nothing helped. His mate put all her attention on their little boy. She worried hair out, stressed beyond the capacity for touch. It would be more than 2 years before their little boy was really okay. She could relax. But she didn't. She was full-on distant now. He'd tried to reach her. He'd been so frustrated that he'd shouted and whined and been a total ass, and that had pushed her even farther away. She showed no sign of even wanting to come back. Any closeness was faked. Badly faked. Obviously distasteful. He simmered. Wanted to leave. One day she changed. She touched, she grabbed, grappled, pregnant. Again, joy, then distant. Again, he felt cheated, as he had been. The mother popped her head through and saw him too late. His spear was coming around. The first time his muscles had moved in, he figured, 6 hours of waiting. Gratifying to know they hadn't actually frozen. The tip of his spear found the top of her skull and pounded through it in a nice, neat hole before friction from the shaft yanked the sides in, and the whole round bone spider-webbed and cracked and shattered stopped his spear maybe 40 centimeters in. More than enough. Right on out the back of her neck and a little to the right, so maybe 9 out of 10. Hell of a kill. The white bear had crept up behind him downwind and silent on those huge paws, one of which smashed him in the side, threw him to the ice. He lived because the bear was interested in the seal. Time to wake the fuck up, shake it the fuck off, get the fuck up. Punching felt good. The bear was all yellow-toothed, foul exhalation in bursts and snarling retorts. It was rippling muscles under a ton of fur and hide and fat, but so was he, and he was angry besides. He was frozen out and molten cord and so damn glad for the opportunity to set it loose. He'd have hugged the damn thing in appreciation if it weren't trying to kill him. More punching. The bear had all the speed it needed, but it didn't know not to trade it in for slow crushing attacks, using all the muscle and mass and momentum it could build up. Evadable if you weren't afraid. He wasn't afraid. He was mad, focusing that madness on the loss of a good-sized seal and this beast that wanted to tear him away from a life featuring on-again, off-again serious consideration of suicide at the edges of himself, and it was confusing. Much, much simpler to go through the steps. I feel small. I feel rejected. I feel fear. I don't want to feel small or rejected or fearful. I throw all of those into the furnace of anger, and I project them out at the world, at this bear. The bear has no respect for my anger. It comes again and again. It must think me smaller than it. It rejects my anger. It has no fear for me. I throw it all in again and more and more, and caution and self-preservation and hope and lost love, and I shut the door on the furnace of my anger, charge it up, rage it, set that loose. He's buried his round mouth in the bear's neck and clamped down hard with all the rows of teeth he can push up and out at it, pulled in tight with arms and legs, leaving the damn thing with nothing but his back to pad against. The bear roaring and finding its own fury, yanking its head away hard, but the rows held tight, and the Kev prey just yanked along with it and spun with it and let the stone of the thing land on him and drive the air from him and make his tendons stretch to singing and the bones bend within a millimeter of broken, much thudding, much pounding in his mind. He was back before the first wedding day, and they were together, holding each other, and his heart was a fluttering sheet of green across the sky. The bear died. Sometime later, he became aware of it. Push rolled the thing off of him. Forearmed the taste of bear fur out of his mouth, took stock. He was whole. Fine. Better than fine. Burned off a bit. The bear would be good. Haul that thing back to civilization. Proud. Let 'em all look. Yeah, that's right. Took a bear. All by my lonesome. Unarmed. Top that, you fuck. Movement distracted. Head jerk. The end of the spear bobbing. Couldn't. Possibly. He went to the hole. The mother seal was down there, dead. The spear point through her neck and stuck hard on the ice sheet. Not too hard. Big goddamn pull. Leverage string hard, you motherfucker. The seal lulled on the ice. A few meters from the bear. The baby nowhere in sight. Problem 1. How to get both of these huge animals back to the world. Problem 2. How to get her to care about what he'd done. Problem 3. How to get over it when she didn't. That last one. The kicker. Worse than whatever the bear did to his back. It couldn't be too bad. He could move. Hell, all that leaking lifeblood. Probably good and frozen.